cleaned this out not too long ago, so there's not going to be a large amount of biochar left in this thing. I probably ran maybe 5-6 pounds of wood through it since my last clean out, but for video's sake, you know, it's fairly representative. I have a flange style on my gasifier for my clean out. You know, you may or may not. I went ahead and took the time off camera just to remove my blind flange on here so that, you know, for video's sake, you didn't have to sit there and watch me remove bolts. As far as clean out goes, I just pull my cap off. I've seen people make little homemade, smaller versions of like a garden hoe to kind of reach in there and scrape out, and I think that's a pretty good idea. I want to build one for it, I just haven't got around to it. So what I've been using at the moment is just a standard mill file. That seems to work pretty good. I just reach in and drag out biochar. You know, it's pretty self-explanatory, just dig it out. I did find, when I cleaned out after the 120 pounds, I did find little lumps of what looked like almost creosote. You know, it's kind of a gooey, sticky, black substance. Tar, obviously, mixed into some of this biochar. So anyhow, I'll just keep digging in there with that until I get it all out, or, you know, most of it out. Again, you know, it doesn't have to be spotless clean inside, but the more you get out, obviously, the better, the less you'll have to do the next time. So I'll grab the camera, we'll come up real close and get a good view of the biochar. So this is it right here. It's basically just charcoal. So again, the last time I cleaned this out, I had ran 120-ish pounds of biomass through it, and I ended up with about 3 gallons of biochar. And the bigger chunks here, like that one, that was from running the Doug fir chips from the other day. So you can really tell the difference, you know, in size. That was Doug fir chips, and then, you know, you can tell pretty obvious what was wood pellets. But anyhow, so we'll go set the camera up and we'll start with the next half of the clean out. And that's going to be the filter. Now in my filter, I have this quick disconnect here on the top of my salvage drum. So I just open it up, drop it down in the barrel, and then my whole lid, blower, valve assembly lifts off altogether. And you can see there's a lot of condensation on the lid. When that gas is cooling, a lot of the condensation gets stuck on the lid of this thing and then kind of rains down on the top of my filter media. So I'll just set this off to the side. And we'll go grab the camera and I'll show you real quick. So inside my filter is sawdust. Nothing special. Doug fir sawdust. I've talked about this before. It's right what comes out of a chainsaw. And you can see these black spots here and here and here. What those are is that is the path of least resistance. The gas has come up through this area, and this area, because apparently that was the easiest path for the gas to take. Now what I've done before on cleanouts, if this filter media still looks pretty good, you know, you can see there's some black stuff here and there, but if it looks pretty good still, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just dig in with my hands, mix it all up so that the gas has to choose a new path, and I'll run it again like that. You know, that's completely dependent upon obviously what shape your filter media is, and if you're even using, you know, wood chips, that could be you know, completely up to you. Wood chips, from just my tests, it's panned out to be the very best filter media that I could find. Plus, it's free, to me at least, and you know, free's good. And I've heard a lot of people, I haven't personally tried it, but reburning this, you know, okay, if filter media is a little used, we'll just throw it in the gasifier and burn it. I'm sure that would work. Now mine is very damp because of the condensation, but you know, if it were drier or dried out, I'm sure you could probably even get away with mixing little bits in at a time with your dry biomass if you'd like to. But we'll go set the camera down and we'll finish up on this video. Now, as far as maintenance goes, there's really not much to do on the gasifier as far as maintenance, because there's really, I mean, you've got your shaker grate inside there and your shaker handle, and that's about it for moving parts. There's really nothing to fail. So there's really no preventative maintenance on the gasifier. With the exception of cleanout, there's really not much more you can do. Especially on my model, because my top doesn't unbolt and come out. If it did, and the guy wanted to go in there and check, nuts or bolts or whatever, I suppose you could make that part of your preventative maintenance and clean out. But mine's, at least the style that I built, it's pretty well foolproof. It's pretty overkill built, and there's really nothing that could go wrong. So there's really no preventative maintenance. A couple of useful tools for cleaning out, especially if you're using like sawdust for a filter media. I built a little scoop that I can dig out with, and it works pretty handy. I keep around some of the old pellet bags just so I can dump into that, which is kind of nice. Now when you're cleaning out the filter, it is nasty smelling. It's bad, make your eyes water, stink. So I recommend, unlike my video, doing this, in a well-ventilated area. My garage is well-ventilated, but I'd much rather have the door open. So anyhow, I just continue digging out until I get to the bottom, and as I go down, the sawdust will get blacker and blacker and blacker. It'll become really dewy and tarry the closer it gets to my inlet pipe, which is to be expected. I mean, the job of the filter media is to filter the gas, so the closer you get to its point of entry, the more tar and things like that you're going to find in the filter media. So there it is. There's a clean out video and non-existent preventative maintenance. Please rate and comment.